Welcome to Last of the Romans, USC, and Oregon Dynasty. And it is week 1, and it is LSU versus USC, and they're ranked 13 and we're 25, and it looks like they're probably the better team. They are 86 overall, we're 84. This might not go very well. I am playing on Heisman, so yeah, I don't really expect to win this one. This might be an early loss for us. Miller Moss, of course, being the starting quarterback. They do have, in real life, they have Jordan Mailata, but the game doesn't have him. I think the Clay Fox character, or whoever that is a stand-in for Mailata. Maybe he's a real person, I don't know. I think he's a stand-in though. I've never heard of him. Let me see. Well, that's just not loading. Oh, there it is. Let's see. Quarterbacks. Yeah, there's no Fox at quarterback. So that's got to be a stand-in for Mailata. Jaden Mailata, that is. The, I believe, Nevada transfer? I'm not positive about that. Or was it Las Vegas? It might have been Las Vegas. Yeah, it was Las Vegas. I think I'll mainly be controlling the linebacker, Mascarenas Arnold, on defense. I might switch between the linebackers a bit, but it'll mainly be linebackers, sometimes safety, but rarely cornerback. Man, I'm really feeling like I should have redshirted O'Neal, but it's only because it's a video game. There's no way they'd redshirt him as a junior. Yeah, this is going to be a tough offense to stop. Based on quarterback rating, Nussmeier is the 31st best quarterback in college. He is a junior redshirt. LSU has some good players on defense. as well. They have Harold Perkins. We'll have a look at their depth chart after this drive. Ooh, that was nasty. So they, yeah, I have Nussmeier 85, Josh Williams the running back, Caleb Jackson. It looks like they've redshirted Josh Williams. That's making me feel even more dumb to have not. Well, okay. Maybe that's saying that he was redshirted in the past. Yeah, that must be. It's not currently a redshirt. So Josh Williams is the running back. Lacey, Daniels, Thomas, a decent wide receiver group. Mason Taylor, one of the best tight ends in college. Will Campbell, one of the best left tackles. Dillinger's pretty good. Their line in general is pretty good. Defensive line is just okay, but they've got Perkins at linebacker. Penn Weeks. Their cornerbacks are actually not that great. Actually, their whole secondary isn't really that exceptional. Stop. Sorry, my dog was scratching me. Okay, I actually don't know the USC roster that well. So Miller Moss is the starting quarterback, 87. That ranks him, let's see, 26th best quarterback in college. He is a redshirt junior. We have Joyner and O'Neal at running back, Branch, Robinson, and Ford, who just made that catch at wide receiver, Lake McCree, Tabarachi, Eldridge at tight end, Page, Pregnan, Monham, Poole, Murphy on the line, Clifton, Hughes, Bear Alexander, Muhammad, Mascarenas, Bridges, Humphreys, Nicholson, Covington at cornerback. So we have a better secondary than they do. They have a better offensive line. We have a slightly better quarterback. Miller Moss was named the starter recently. There was some question about if Maeva, the Las Vegas transfer, was going to be able to supplant him, but Yeah, given his performance in the few games that Miller Moss has played, I would have been surprised if he hadn't been given the job. And their quarterback fumbles. We might have a look at that. Muhammad forcing it. Did look like it was coming out before he hit the ground, so I think that'll stand. How fast is Miller Moss? What is his strength and weakness? Let's see. And I actually want to know that for all the skill positions, because I don't know these guys as well. So Miller Moss is not fast. He is aware. He can change directions decently. Has a decent enough juke move. Has a fairly strong arm. Good accuracy. But doesn't throw very well on the run. He's a pocket passer. He does throw well under pressure. Yeah, that's what can be said about him. For Joyner, let's see. So Joyner versus O'Neal. Joyner is not as much of a power back, it looks like, but does have a better stiff arm, better moves, better catching a little bit. Let's see, is there any other relevant rating? For a real team, they would look at, run blocking or pass blocking as well for running back, but it's not going to matter as much in a video game. Let's see, Branch and Robinson and Ford. So Branch is extremely fast. Can break tackles, has good change of direction, has good ball carrier vision, has great moves. He's decent enough with his hands. Good deep route runner. So we want him on go routes and just anything deep. Good special catching, good jumping. Robinson does have good release, though. Alright, well, let's get back to the game. I am going to try to focus on running more, especially against a top team like this. I could maybe get an advantage on the ground since I tend to shut down the run game. I do have fatigue turned up. I wonder how much of an effect that has on the defense over the course of the game. O'Neal hurt on the first carry. My thinking on that play was, where is Branch? Because I want to target him on every play. But, yeah, that was Robinson getting open, I believe. Oh, no, that was Hudson. I don't do a lot of switching on defense, but I will on occasion. It's not because it's not a good thing to do. If you're playing multiplayer and competitively, you're going to want to switch unless there's rules against it. Some leagues will have like a no switch after the ball is in the air rule, which I think is a good one. I think it's ball in the air or past the line of scrimmage, you can't switch. Guess it depends on the league. But yeah, I tend to not. I gotta stop diving into the pile. That's a penalty in real life, adding into the, late hits like that into the pile. And it just looks dumb when I'm watching it. So I'll try to have better discipline over the course of this dynasty than I have. I think part of the problem with watching these videos is the camera, but I don't know, I do prefer this. I play defense better on this camera. Of course, I'm playing some awful defense, so... I did try the first-person camera. I had some success with it, but really, it's best if I'm blitzing from first person, like the over-the-shoulder camera. Or I can play defensive back okay, but I just don't have the awareness that I get with the camera that I currently use. It helps me cover the middle of the field, which is difficult in the over-the-shoulder camera, because you don't know what's, you can't look around. Your viewpoint is fixed, so it's very difficult to get a overall sense of the field like you would be able to in real life just by turning your head around. I think they should add the vision cone back, but for defense. And it kind of seems like it is there because I've noticed they've stopped where like you'll throw to a wide receiver and then another defensive back will immediately like break off from their coverage of whoever they were covering and stop on a dime and turn around and swat the pass. Just complete ninja level stuff. Yeah, I don't see that as much anymore, but it might also be because I've turned pass defense reaction time all the way up to 100, which actually has an inverse effect. It increases the amount of the amount of time that the defense takes to make a reaction, whereas every other slider is a buff, or Yeah, that one is a debuff if you raise it. As LSU takes a 21-7 lead with a pick six. I thought about taking LSU as one of the colleges for this dynasty. I do think they're an interesting team. That's an interesting region too. Louisiana. They have a lot of culture there. I heard you can't really move to, what do you call that? New Orleans or Nolans or whatever you want to call that city. You can't move to there without gaining like 20 pounds because of how good the food is. Could probably believe that of Chicago too if somebody said that, just because Chicago's got a ton of great food and from like a lot of different cultures. Like I've seen Colombian food, I've seen different African cultures food. I think Ethiopian, if I'm thinking of one in particular, which is, you know, pretty interesting to try food like that and see what it's like so far away in the world. There's a lot of German food, there's a lot of Polish food, there's a lot of just food in general. You can find anything in a city like that. I'm sure New York is the same, and LA as well. But the thing that would get you in trouble, I think, in Chicago is somebody either returning or moving there for the first time and just trying out the food. We have a fast food chain called Portillo's, and they have Italian beef, and it is extremely good, but not very good for you, I don't think. They also have a cake and a shake thing, which is they literally take a slice of cake and they put it in the blender with the shake, and then they serve it to you. So yeah, if you're getting that with any frequency, you're probably gonna end up gaining weight. I think I've only had one time, but it's pretty good. There's also deep dish pizza, which is a strange pizza, I guess, for some people. Some people like to call it a soup, I think. Others call it a pie, and really it is a pie. It's a pizza pie. All pizza are pie. You know. So that's a fair assessment, I think. But yeah, it's we don't eat deep dish that often, really. It's more of like a special occasion thing. Like it was always for like somebody's birthday or something. Nobody's just casually eating deep dish. You can't eat that casually. It's a sweaty food. Like it's so thick and like filling. Like it'll give you those, oh, I just ate a bunch of food sweats if you've ever had that, which you probably shouldn't have, because it's not really a good thing to be feeling. But it happens, I guess, if you don't realize how much you've eaten. Definitely not something to aim for. But yeah, there one slice is like definitely filling enough for a meal. I feel like for a lot of the deep dish, like Lumel Nadi's has really good deep dish, and I could only eat like one piece at a time. And the sauce on Lumel Nadi's pizza is like it's this like really sweet tomato sauce, and it's almost like reminiscent of wine, but not like bitter at all. It's like a sweet tomato. I don't know, but it. Some people don't like how much tomato sauce is being used, and like I said, they call it a soup at times, and some of them are quite soupy. But Mel Nadi's, at least for the kind of deep dish that I get there, it's not soupy. But yeah, most of the time it's more of like this checkerboard, not checkerboard, but well, I'm not really sure what kind of pizza that is when it's like thin crust and it's like cut in squares. I guess that's like tavern style, or yeah, that I think is called tavern style pizza. Um, yeah, that's more common for people to eat in Chicago. We don't eat that much deep dish. And I like that pizza too. I mean, I like all pizza. It's really hard. It's extremely difficult to mess up pizza. I've had bad pizza before, but most of the time it's still pretty good. The worst pizza I ever had, though, that was, I can distinctly recall that pizza, because it was an abomination to pizza. It desecrated the food of my people, you know? It was Holland, Michigan, I believe it is. Or at least a college town near Holland, Michigan, as far as I'm aware. I'd have to look at a map to see what that town was called if it rang a bell. But yeah, that town had the worst pizza in the entire country. It was basically, I thought it was a joke because it was basically like crackers, like saltine crackers, like I don't know, that kind of crust though, like a very extremely thin crust, and then it was like a can of tomato paste was applied on top of it with a bag of shredded cheese on top of that. That's what I think they did, or at least that's how bad their pizza appeared. It was truly an abomination. And the crazy thing was, we had to wait to get into that restaurant. There was a line for that pizza. It was absurd. We waited like 35 to 45 minutes for the worst pizza in the country. And there were other people waiting too, and a lot of people were seated. Like, this was something they were perpetuating onto a lot of people. Like, I don't know, it was like a cult or something. It must be if they have a regular audience, like a regular crowd, that is, you know, not audience, but like if they have regular customers, those people are deluding themselves. That is the worst pizza. As I am getting destroyed 28-7. Yeah, we definitely have to respond on this drive, and we have to be perfect from here on out. Gotta start stopping them on defense too. Maybe get a turnover. Yeah. The offensive line, I feel like, has been the biggest factor for this game. I'm not getting any pressure, and they're getting quite a bit. That might be picked. And it is. Just trying to make too much happen, and yeah, wasn't really an opportunity there. That safety was in a good spot to pick it. Major burns. And now we've picked it. Ramsey. Why do I always think I can throw it over and past that guy? Just a terrible day for Miller Moss, that's for sure. Really, it's a very difficult start to the season against number 13 LSU, and I am just playing awful. Trying to force way too many throws. That one I saw the whole way, knew I shouldn't have thrown it, but sometimes I'm able to fit it just past that linebacker, and, you know, I don't know, too tempting for me. And there's another LSU touchdown. 35-7. An ignominious start. Is that even a word? Well, in any case, a bad start for USC. Very, very bad. Who's the other team? Oh yeah, Oregon. Yeah, Oregon's playing, what do you call that? FCS school, so that should be easier. Although those teams are kind of jacked for what they are, I've heard. Like, they'll often beat a number 1 team. I know they mentioned in the patch that they tried to fix that, but I don't know if that really, if they did enough. We're just playing for some respect here. We gotta put points on the board and make some stops, or we're gonna look pretty dumb. Can't just give up mid-game. Okay, so I'm gonna give up mid-game. I'm gonna pull an Antonio Brown. I've decided to take off my jersey and leave the field. I had also considered Colorado for one of the teams to play, but I feel like they're just way too controversial, and I'd end up talking about things that Shiloh or Dion have done, and I just don't really want to talk about that stuff, so I'm not going to. But they do have some good players, like Travis Hunter, that I would have liked to use. And I do think Shedeur Sanders is one of the top quarterback prospects. Although I do think they have him a bit overrated in the game. I feel like, well, okay, it's really hard to say for this year's roster and probably any year's roster, just because, you know, we haven't seen a lot of what these guys can do, and they can make a big leap between especially sophomore to junior year. So, really Quinn Ewers might be the best. I would rather the ratings be randomized in some way or have the opportunity to randomize them mildly, like within a range. I'd like, Quinn Ewers to be between the range of 97 and as low as, really, I could see as low as 82, I would say. I think there's a high amount of volatility with Quinn Ewers because we just haven't seen a whole lot of consistently, good play. If we had a better, data set to look at, better film to evaluate and see that he is consistently playing well, then, I think they would have him rated as the top quarterback, but we haven't, so I think they're being cautious with him, which I think is the right choice. I just wish that we could randomize them within a range. Miller Moss is another one that is a big question mark because he's had some great success, but just not a lot of games started, really. Not a huge sample size. So it's really hard to say if he'll be able to maintain that. And then, of course, you can't edit any of the ratings in this game, which is frustrating. Definitely going to be watching the run mainly. It just makes sense for them to run out the clock. This time I'll drop back into zone because it's third down, but they'll probably, well, there's a decent chance they'll run it anyways. And that is an interception by Arnold. Really good adjustment there. Yeah, I guess the other contender for quarterback of the year, I guess there's probably, there's 5 guys that I would say could be the best quarterback in college football. Shedeur Sanders is who they have rated as the best. I do think that's a potential outcome. It's not outside of the realm of possibility. I do think that that locker room is having issues and could have further issues. They just had a coach quit. So maybe or maybe not. But the other option is Carson Beck, who's the second best quarterback rated in the game. And that he definitely could be the best and might end up going first in the draft, the NFL draft. So it's just, there's not really a front runner right now, I wouldn't say. Carson Beck would be the one that I would say, although I've definitely been hearing a lot of Quinn Ewers. But then I guess you've got other people thinking that maybe Dylan Gabriel is going to play really well for Oregon. There's also Jalen Daniels from Kansas and Jaden Milroe from Alabama. I've heard some people expecting big things out of Preston Stone at SMU, but I don't really know anything about him. Only thing I really know about Cam Ward, or Cameron Rising, that is that he had an injury after a few games last season, and the backup had to finish the season. But I have heard, that he looked promising in the games that he played. I'm definitely interested in Riley Leonard in Notre Dame and Grayson McCall from NC State. I definitely am curious how those two will perform. Got burned. Drew Alar from Penn State, I feel like, is probably, it's going to be a make or break year this year. If he looks really good, then yeah, he's definitely going to be somebody that they'll consider highly in the draft when he does declare. He's a junior redshirt this year, so he could declare if he had a good enough season. But I have a feeling that he'll end up staying another year. I'm not really sure I trust the Penn State coaching staff to be able to make anything of a good quarterback prospect. I don't know. I just don't know who their coach is even. But from my knowledge base, I can't remember a Penn State quarterback recently that's been successful. There was Hackenberg, who was successful in terms of getting drafted in the 3rd round, but definitely not in game at all ever. And I believe he is out of the league presently. Yeah, I gotta bench O'Neal because he's just getting hurt left and right, and he's gonna end up with a long-term injury if I don't take him out. We're gonna hurry up because we're down a lot. Yeah, Miller Moss isn't really fast enough for me to be able to maneuver around like that. I need to pretty much just stay still until somebody gets open. It's going to be a bit of a learning curve for me because I have been playing Superstar mode with my improviser quarterback who has 99 speed, I believe 99 agility as well. So I'm used to being able to move around much better. Yeah, that's just not Miller Moss's game. I can move up in the pocket, that's fine, but trying to run around is just not gonna produce good results. I wish I would have changed the schedule, but I did kind of want to follow what USC was going to do. Although I don't know why their first game is against LSU. That seems like a really tough ask. You would think you'd want to get into rhythm with a few easier games. I'm hoping after the season to convince Miller Moss to stay for his senior year. Currently, he's only the 26th best rated quarterback, so staying another year, he'll have another year of progression. he should be much higher rated and maybe go higher in the draft. Hopefully higher rated. Sometimes they do have dynamic progression in college football, which is really cool. It's not all linear. So that's a really nice improvement over Madden. Fourth and 3. I'm bombing it. Bomb it deep. Yeah, I had to endure some amount of Rex Grossman just bombing it deep into triple coverage when I was younger. For the Bears, he just he was an exciting quarterback to watch because you never knew what would happen when you release the ball. It's either gonna be, an impressive touchdown, or it's gonna be an interception that looks extremely dumb. Fit that into triple coverage. So I guess the 3 lessons of this game, target branch as much as possible. Don't really move up. Well, move up in the pocket, but don't try to run with Miller Moss. And probably need to invest more time trying to run the ball on early downs. Oh no, he got stuck. Man, that just ended the game right there, because we could have been within a touchdown and an extra point, but now it's 2 scores. Man, he got caught up on his own blocker. Eight sacks for LSU. Yeah, I definitely felt like the offensive lines were or the battle in the trenches is what decided this game. We're gonna go for the Hail Mary chance of getting the ball back with about 40 seconds left, hitting a deep pass for a touchdown, and then getting an onside recovery, and then another deep pass with however many seconds left remaining. Oh man, got carried past the first down. Well, that's a 38-28 loss to LSU for USC in the opener. And the clock runs out. Too little, too late. 3 scores in the 4th quarter for USC. Not enough. Hopefully we'll play this team again and we can get our revenge. And hopefully next week is an easier matchup so I can get used to not moving at all in the pocket with the quarterback. Except for maybe moving up a little bit. Miller Moss wasn't even bad. He actually outperformed Nussmeier, even though he threw 3 interceptions. Yeah, the run game, like I said, we did not invest enough in the run game. Yeah, a lot of sacks. And we only were able to get 1. Alright, well, thanks for watching.